know, I truly thought I have seen the worst of the fan bases. I've seen a lot. From the Sonic fan base to the anime fan base, and oh yes, even to the Disney fan bases. I thought that was bad. But no, nothing compared to what I'm about to talk about. Yes, I am referring to Twilight, and the obsessive, psychotic fans who either read it or watch it. Now, before I even get into this, just note, I am not in any way, shape, or form informing every last one of you who like Twilight. If you are one of these people who like Twilight, but who can take an opinion, you are excused from this. But as for the rest of you, and I'm talking about the rest of you psychotic, demented little you butt-tards or fuck-tards or whatever the hell, this is going out directly to you. Now I'm going to tell you something. I don't like Twilight. In fact, why is it even that popular? And yes, I have in fact read the book. I read the first book. My friend loaned me the first book because him and I, we just like to figure out why things are so freaking popular, and everybody was talking about how good the books were. So me and him, we read it. And you want to know something? I like good literature. I like to read good stories and good fan fiction. But you know what? Twilight is far from being a good story. It's far from it. Because let me tell you something. Never in my life have I ever gotten bored after reading one chapter. Yes. Because Twilight is basically a love story. It's a love story between two characters. And let me tell you something. I've read better books than this shit. Because let me tell you, the two main characters are annoying as crap. Edward. Ah, yes, Edward. Every girl's wet dream. Edward is an abusive, obsessive little cocksucker. That's all I got to say. He's like, I'm so hard ass that I can do whatever I want. Everybody's gonna love me. Yeah, he might as well be wearing a sign saying, I'm a potential cocksucker, love me. And then there's Bella. Yes, Bella. Bella, whose personality is so bland, so boring, and I compare it to mud. That's her personality. It's compared to mud. And damn, she is annoying because she whines a lot. Because there were so many times that I read her whining. I wish it was real so I could tell her to shut up. But enough about this. And anyway, people ask me, did I go see the movie? No, I didn't. Why? Because, I don't know. Because why would I want to watch a movie based on a book I didn't like? Wouldn't make a lot of sense now, would it? But enough about this. Let's just get to the fangirls of this. The fangirls, just like the Jonas Brothers fangirls, they are obsessive with this. They think it's God. They think it's gold. They think it's the best thing on this planet. But then, somewhere in their tiny little minds, they get obsessed over it. And God forbid, anybody who has a different opinion from theirs will pay the price for even speaking it. Because yes, I have heard stories about girls getting their arms broken because they didn't like Twilight. I've heard a girl got a knife thrown on her because she didn't like Twilight. I heard even guys have jumped other guys for not liking Twilight. And let me tell you, even myself has been attacked. I was attacked the other day. Why? Because I gave an opinion on Twilight. And what happened to me? I had sticks and pine cones thrown at me just because I said I didn't like the book. Now is that complete fucking bullshit or what? I get debris thrown at me just because I said I didn't like a book. Oh, and that's nothing. A friend of mine had informed me that a girl threw a rock at him for his opinion. Is it full of shit or what? You know what? Let me ask you girls a question. Are you willing to go to jail for Twilight? Are you willing to go to jail for this? Are you willing to go? You girls are obsessive. You're psychotic. You're crazy. Some of you need to be put away somewhere, off the street, away from sane people. That's what I think. You need to get away from people who are sane, because you clearly ain't. God forbid, I truly don't like... See, I used to think the Sonic fanbase was bad. I used to think the Sonic fanbase was terribly bad. But now, I'm beginning to think that fanbase ain't all that bad now. It's starting to mellow out. Same with Naruto. That fanbase is starting to mellow out. Anime in general, starting to mellow out. Video games, starting to mellow out. But the only fanbases that I'm beginning to see that has all these psychotic little fucktards are Twilight, Jonas Brothers, Hannah Montana, and High School Musical. Those are the only fan bases that I see that has all these retarded little fucktards. Obsessive little fucktards. You wanna know something? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now. I've read better stories than Twilight. Trust me when I say this. I think Harry Potter is a better story. Because at least, and let me tell you something, I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter either. But at least, when you read the books, at least it makes you want to read it more. With Twilight, you get bored with it quickly. Same goes for Stephen King's. Same goes for Stephen King's books. I think his books are pretty good. I love it. I love his stories. And let me tell you something. At least his stories keep you on the edge of your seat. Stephanie Meyers is not a good author, in my opinion. She does not know how to write a good story. And God forbid, you say anything about her too, you will get fucked up by the fantards. You will get fucked up. I guarantee you. And then they give you this, then the fangirls will give you this excuse. Did you read the book? And you know what? I did. And you know why? I was fucking bored with it. And they tell you, well, if you don't like the book, then don't read it. Well, seems a little too late, seeing as how I already read the book and I hated it. Oh, you don't have no right to talk about it. Yes I do. See, if I didn't read the book or watch the movie, no, I couldn't say nothing about it. But since I read the book, I have every right to speak my opinion on it. And there's not a fucking thing you fucking retards can do about it. And some of you who think you can shut me up, I want you to try. Just try to shut me up. But let me tell you something. You won't have any luck doing that. Twilight, in my opinion, has to be one of the biggest overrated things I've ever seen in my whole life. And why? I don't know. The stories are stupid. The characters are bland as hell. The movie? No, I didn't see the movie. Why? Because I didn't see a point to it. Oh, and one important thing that I forgot to mention. Vampires don't sparkle. Vampires don't fucking sparkle, you morons. Because let me tell you something. Dracula, that's a vampire. Let me tell you, that's a true vampire. And you want to know something? And I'm gonna go there by saying that the Count from Sesame Street, he's more of a vampire than these fucktards from Twilight. Twilight truly gives me a headache every time I even think about it. And everybody always said, just stay away from them. You can't. Because fantards they seem to be everywhere. No matter where you go. You seem to run into one or two or three, and God forbid if you run into 6, you're fucked. But you know, I'm just going to say this. You fangirls, you ought to be ashamed. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves because you are throwing things at people, you are attacking people, you are harming people over a fucking book series and a fucking movie. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Don't you have any conscience? Don't you think for a second that, oh, well, other people have a right to their opinion. If people don't like Twilight, then they don't have to like Twilight. Doesn't that even occur to you? No, apparently it doesn't. Because you wouldn't be doing it if it would occur to you. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why this even happens. You know, I'm not done here. Meet me in part 2. Meet me in part 2 of this, okay?